Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to be in the book of Acts, and it's going to be a bit of a long reading. I'm going to read chapter 5 verses 1 through 11, starting with the English Standard Version. But a man named Ananias with his wife Sapphira sold a piece of property, and with his wife's knowledge he kept back for himself some of the proceeds and brought only a part of it and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back for yourself part of the proceeds of the land? While it remained unsold, did it not remain your own? And after it was sold, was it not at your disposal? Why is it that you have contrived this deed in your heart? You have not lied to man, but to God. When Ananias heard these words, he fell down and breathed his last. And great fear came upon all who heard it. The young men rose and wrapped him up and carried him out and buried him. After an interval of about 3 hours, his wife came in, not knowing what had happened. And Peter said to her, Tell me whether you sold the land for so much. And she said, Yes, for so much. But Peter said to her, How is it that you have agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. Immediately she fell at his feet and breathed her last. When the young men came in, they found her dead, and they carried her out and buried her beside her husband. And great fear came upon the whole church and upon all who heard of these things. Okay, now the New Century Version. But a man named Ananias and his wife Sapphira sold some land. He kept back part of the money for himself. His wife knew about this and agreed to it. But he brought the rest of the money and gave it to the apostles. Peter said, Ananias, why did you let Satan rule your thoughts to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep for yourself part of the money you received for the land? Before you sold the land, it belonged to you. And even after you sold it, you could have used the money any way you wanted. Why did you think of doing this? You lied to God, not to us. When Ananias heard this, he fell down and died. Some young men came and wrapped up his body and carried it out and buried it. And everyone who heard about this was filled with fear. About 3 hours later, his wife came in, but she did not know what had happened. Peter said to her, Tell me, was the money that you got for your field this much? Sapphira answered, Yes, that was the price. Peter said to her, Why did you and your husband agree to test the Spirit of the Lord? Look, the men who buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. At that moment, Sapphira fell down by his feet and died. When the young men came in and saw that she was dead, they carried her out and buried her beside her husband. The whole church and all the others who heard about these things were filled with fear. Okay, so the short, simple message I want to get across with this long passage is nothing can be hidden from God. God knows all of our thoughts. He knows all of our actions. He knows everything about us. So, it is pointless to try to hide something from God. And if we do, it will be made known on the day of judgment anyway. Everyone is going to know what everyone did on the day of judgment. So again, let's not hide anything from God. Let's do our best to serve God properly and appropriately. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.